All right, guys, let's start with today's session. Today we don't have a PowerPoint, so basically we've covered the theory of the VPN and the side-to-side VPN in last lesson. But today is the second worksheet on the VPN. So last lesson, if you finished the worksheet, you should have actually configured remote access, meaning that someone from a like a client computer, Windows 10 client, or something like that at home or on the road, somewhere with an internet connection, can actually log in and access the resources from your local area network. What we're doing today is actually the second part, so you can't do this part of the worksheet without doing the previous worksheet. And when you do this worksheet, it's the second part, which after you've given remote access to your users, now we want to join the two sites together, so you can actually have services like Active Directory, DFS in the future, replicating with each other. Okay, so getting towards what we want to do in our assignment. So if we have a quick look at this worksheet, one of the key things is to focus on the picture. Okay, at the end of the day, this is what your picture is going to look like. Okay, so you're going to have your server 1, server 2, and your remote client being able to dial in and access resources here. This remote client's on the internet. It doesn't mean it can only dial into here to the local site. It can also dial in to this server 3 for this remote site. Okay, but you'll see that on this remote site you have another server 3, and you have a remote site client which is on this network. Okay, so just remember, when you're doing the testing to see if things work, you are actually testing from a computer which is on this VMnet 2, using this server 3 as a gateway, which has a VPN connection set up with this server 2 that gives access to this VMnet 1 network. You get that, guys? So basically, in order for this client to communicate, it goes through this as a gateway, pass through the cloud, which is our bridge network in here, but in real life it's the internet, goes through here and accesses the resources that might be somewhere on this LAN. And all the computers on this network needs to use the gateway which is here, to get off it to the internet or to the other network. So you'll see that as part of it, you'll have to create some static routes, and hopefully you understand what they are from your Cisco and WNF. But the key thing is, each one of these computers has two interfaces, one facing in on VMnet 1, one facing out on the bridge network in this case, and this one is in is VMnet 2, out is bridge network. Once you finish this worksheet, you're ready to start doing the VPN for your assignment. Okay, so basically I don't want you to try to do this VPN stuff in your assignment without having successfully completed the worksheets. Okay, the worksheets are there for you to sort of get your problems out of the way, understand what's going on, and have an idea what's all working, because there's so many different parts to this that it can get confusing if you don't have it in your brain the way it should work initially. Okay, so if you look at this, don't do the assignment VPN without finishing the two VPN worksheets. Don't try to do it straight into your assignment. I find that that's when people get themselves muddled up. But obviously, when you do it for the assignment, yeah, the names, the IP addresses, all that kind of things is different, isn't it? So basically, the whole point of the assignment is so that your understanding of the process is good enough so that you can adjust those figures. But if you look at this picture, okay, and if we look at the assignment picture, we'll give you a diagram as well. You almost can overlay it, can't you? Almost. There's some extras here that's not really relevant to the VPN connection, like the file server. Really is not relevant to the VPN connection at all. But if you eliminate the file servers, and in this case the read-only domain controller, as well as the workstations in here, you could almost sort of superimpose one image on the other image and almost work out what each part's playing. So if you haven't realized yet, in the assignment you have a domain controller here. In your worksheet you also have a domain controller. Well, they're going to play the same part in the whole process, isn't it? In the assignment you have a RAS server, or remote access server. On here, you also have a remote access server. It might be just called something different. It's server 2. The IP addresses might be different, but just sort of understand what part each machine plays in the whole process by almost comparing the two together next to each other. So as another bit of warning, do not do the VPN in the assignment without firstly taking a snapshot of all your virtual machines that you've been working on. Okay, it doesn't matter about the Elizabeth site because you haven't really done anything with them yet, but the Adelaide ones, you've done a whole heap of work, and we don't want you to somehow mess it all up and have to do it all again. So take a snapshot of all your virtual machines, same time, and then work on this VPN. And obviously, if all things go well, no problems. If everything goes badly, you just restore all of them back to your snapshot. Okay, back to your snapshot, and then start again. Okay, so basically do that, and also after you've successfully got me to sign off on your VPN, again at that point, take a snapshot. Okay, so basically snapshot before, snapshot after, that protects you against any possibility of having to do the whole thing again and going back to square one or something like that. Okay, so it's to protect yourself and give yourself a sort of a way out, a back out, just in case you're not doing it, you messed it up or something like that. So that's my tips and tricks about doing this onto doing this worksheet, as well as implementing into the assignment. So what I want you guys to work on, if you haven't finished the remote access worksheets and the worksheet 6 and 7, make sure you do it on the practice virtual machines first, and then when you're ready, implement on your assignment. And obviously today, apart from now, there's no actual